The room was silent, not the peaceful kind of silence, but the heavy kind that felt alive. Soft blue lights floated above a long glass chamber. Strange symbols glowed on the walls, slowly moving like quiet water. Inside the chamber, a human lay. Still, his chest rising and falling in a slow, weak rhythm. No one in the room spoke. Then, his fingers moved. A small motion, almost nothing, but enough to freeze every alien inside the chamber. The alien supervisor stepped closer. Tall and thin, with pale silver skin and calm glowing eyes, he raised one long hand. Other alien doctors stopped their work and stared. The human's eyes opened, slowly, confused, tired. He blinked again and again, trying to understand what he was seeing. The ceiling was not made of metal like his ship. It looked like living crystal. Soft lights flowed across it like clouds made of light. He tried to speak, but only a weak breath came out. The alien supervisor leaned close, his voice gentle but filled with worry. "Careful, human," he said softly. "You've been in a coma for over 20 years. The human's eyes widened. 20 years? His mind tried to move, but his thoughts were heavy, like they were swimming through deep water. He tried to remember, a battle, alarms, fire. "Where?" he whispered. "Where am I?" The alien paused before answering. "You are on a medical station," the supervisor said. "In orbit around the planet Kirel." The human slowly turned his head, looking at the strange beings around him. None of them were human. Different shapes, colors, eyes, and limbs. Some were tall and thin, some were small and round. All of them were watching him closely. "Where is Earth?" the human asked. The alien supervisor looked away for a brief moment. That small movement made the room feel colder. "Earth," the alien said carefully, "is very far from here now." The human tried to sit up, but his body was weak. His muscles shook. The alien doctors quickly moved to support him, gently placing him back on the bed. "Easy," the supervisor said. "Your body needs time. Why are you helping me?" the human asked. "Why am I here?" The alien supervisor hesitated. "You were found," he said, "floating in deep space, alone. Your ship was destroyed. There were no signs of other survivors." The human closed his eyes for a moment. "Everyone is gone?" he asked quietly. The alien did not answer right away. Then he said, "Yes." The word felt heavy. Final. The human opened his eyes again, but now they were darker, filled with pain. "How long was I drifting?" he asked. "Almost 2 decades, the alien replied. "Your body entered a deep survival state. It kept you alive, but asleep." The human gave a weak, bitter smile. "Typical," he said softly. "Humans never know when to quit." Some of the aliens exchanged nervous looks. The human noticed that. "Why do you all look at me like that?" he asked, "like I'm something dangerous." The alien supervisor slowly folded his hands behind his back. "Because you are a human," he said. "And?" the human replied. The supervisor took a slow breath. "Because humans changed the galaxy." The human frowned. "I was just a pilot." The alien shook his head. "No human was just anything." The human tried to laugh, but it turned into a small cough. "Then tell me," he said, "what happened while I was sleeping?" The alien walked toward a large glass window beside the chamber. Beyond it, stars shined in endless darkness. Ships of many kinds moved silently through space. 20 years ago, the supervisor began. A great war ended. The humans' heart beat faster. The humans were at the center of it, the alien continued. "You fought not for power, but to protect others." The human closed his eyes again, memory slowly coming back. "All I remember," he said, "is standing between my fleet and something much bigger." The alien nodded. "You were part of the final defense," he said. "When humans disappeared, the galaxy changed. The human looked at him sharply. Disappeared? He repeated. What do you mean? There were no bodies, the alien said. No signals, no ships. Humans simply vanished. The human's breathing became heavier. You're saying, he said slowly, that humans are gone? The room became silent again. The alien supervisor answered in a low voice. Yes, to the galaxy. Humans are extinct. The word hit harder than any weapon. The human stared at the ceiling. His eyes empty. Extinct, gone, forgotten. Then why, he asked quietly, do you look scared of me? The alien supervisor turned and met his eyes. Because, he said, humans were not feared for their weapons. Then for what? The human asked. The alien stepped closer. They were feared, he said, because even when broken, even when alone, humans never stopped standing. The human slowly closed his fist. The alien supervisor continued. And now, he said, one human has returned after 20 years of silence. The lights in the chamber seemed to glow brighter. Outside the glass, several aliens had gathered, watching him through the window. Some looked curious, some looked afraid. Some looked hopeful. The human looked at them, then back at the alien supervisor. If I am the last, he said, then I don't plan to sleep again. The alien supervisor felt a strange chill, because, for the first time in 20 years, a human was awake. The medical chamber slowly returned to its normal rhythm. Soft lights moved across the walls again. Machines hummed in quiet patterns, but for the human, nothing felt normal anymore. He was no longer asleep. And the galaxy knew it. The alien supervisor stood beside him, looking calm, but inside, his thoughts were restless. He had waited many years for this moment, and feared it at the same time. You said humans disappeared, the human finally spoke. But the galaxy still remembers us. Yes, the alien replied. And that is exactly why your return matters. The human turned his head slowly. Explain. The supervisor pressed a control panel. A large glowing screen appeared in the air. Images formed, ships, planets, and battles frozen in silent light. This, the alien said, was the galaxy before humans arrived. The image showed many alien fleets, powerful and proud. But something was missing. There was order, the supervisor continued, but no mercy. Strong ruled, weak survived only by hiding. The image changed. Now, small ships were being attacked by massive fleets. Civilian planets burned. No help came. Then, new ships appeared. Human ships. They were smaller, not the strongest, not the fastest. But they moved straight into danger. The human watched silently. You did not come for control, the alien said. You came for those who had no voice. The screen showed humans forming shields around alien worlds. Human pilots blocking enemy fire. Human soldiers standing between invaders and civilians. The human felt his chest tighten. That's what we were trained for, he said quietly. The alien nodded. But the galaxy did not understand this, he said. To many species, strength meant dominance. But humans showed strength meant protection. The image changed again. A massive enemy fleet appeared, dark, sharp, endless, against them. Only a small human force. The human leaned forward weakly. That was the final battle, he whispered. Yes, the alien said. The battle where humans vanished. The image froze on a single moment. Human ships charging forward, outnumbered, outgunned, but not slowing. The human closed his eyes. And after that? He asked. The alien waved his hand, and the image faded. After that, he said, the galaxy became very quiet. The human opened his eyes. Quiet? Yes, the alien replied. No more humans rushing into danger. No more strange courage. No more voices saying, we will hold the line. The supervisor turned and looked at him directly. Silence. can be more frightening than noise, human. The human slowly sat back against the bed. So what happened to the galaxy? He asked. The alien hesitated. Some species grew afraid, he said. Some grew bold. Without humans, the balance broke. The human raised an eyebrow. Because we were fighters? No, the alien said firmly. Because you were different. The human waited. You fought, the alien said. But you also forgave. You were strong, but never cruel. That confused many races. The human gave a weak smile. We weren't perfect. No, the alien agreed. But you were rare. The human stared at the ceiling for a moment. So now, he said, after 20 years, I wake up and suddenly I matter again. The alien did not answer immediately. Then he said, you never stopped mattering. The human looked at him. Then why was I kept asleep? He asked. The question made the alien pause longer than before. Because, the supervisor said slowly, the galaxy was not ready to face a human again. The human frowned. Afraid of one man? The alien stepped closer. Afraid of what one human represents. The human became quiet. Outside the chamber, more aliens had gathered. They spoke in low tones. Some pointed toward him. Others stepped back as if distance itself was protection. You see, the alien said, following his gaze, for many, humans are not just a species. What are we then? The human asked. The alien answered in a low voice, a memory of a time when the galaxy was braver. The human felt something heavy in his chest, not pride, but responsibility. I didn't ask for that, he said. Alien nodded. None of your kind ever did. The human looked down at his hands. Then what happens now? He asked. The alien's eyes glowed slightly brighter. Now, he said, every major power in the galaxy knows a human is awake. The human looked up sharply. You told them? We had no choice, the alien replied. The medical awakening was detected. The human exhaled slowly. So now I am a signal. Yes, the alien said. A living one. A quiet alarm suddenly sounded in the room. Soft and distant. The alien turned to a console. Scanners are active, he said. Ships are changing course. The human's eyes narrowed. Toward us? Yes. The human was silent for a moment. Then he said calmly, then maybe. The galaxy is about to remember what it means when humans stand again. The alien supervisor looked at him, surprised. You are not afraid? The human slowly smiled. Not with joy, but with quiet strength. No, he said. I slept long enough. The lights in the chamber dimmed slightly, beyond the window. Distant stars shifted as ships moved in silence, and across the galaxy. The return of a single human was already changing everything. The station no longer felt like a hospital. It felt like a waiting room for something much bigger. Outside the human's chamber, alien guards had taken silent positions. Not because he was dangerous, but because everything around him now felt fragile. The human noticed this. They are not guarding me, he said calmly. They are guarding themselves. The alien supervisor did not deny it. You understand quickly, he said. The human slowly stood from the medical bed. His legs shook, but he did not fall. The alien doctors rushed forward, but he raised a hand. I can stand, he said. Humans always do. The alien supervisor watched him closely. You are weak, he said. But you do not act like it. The human gave a quiet smile. Because weakness is only in the body, he replied, not in the will. The supervisor said nothing. But something in his eyes changed. The human walked slowly toward the wide window. Beyond it, stars stretched like endless fire. Alien ships floated in strange formations around the station. So the human said, tell me the real reason. The galaxy fears humans. The alien took a long moment before speaking. It is not your strength, he said. It is your choice. The human turned. Choice? Yes, the alien replied. Other species fight because they must. Humans fought because they chose to. The human thought about that. When a stronger race attacks, the alien continued. Most species surrender, hide, or submit. Humans step forward. The alien raised his hand, and another screen appeared. Images showed humans walking into burning cities, carrying alien children. Humans standing in front of shields made of light. Humans pulling wounded enemies to safety. You saved even those who hurt you, the alien said. That confused the galaxy. The human looked at the images. That's not confusing, he said softly. That's called being human. The alien nodded slowly. But for others, he said, it was terrifying. The human frowned. Terrifying? Why? Because it meant humans were not ruled by fear, the alien replied. And nothing is more dangerous than a being who is not afraid to care. The human felt the truth in those words. You mean? He said, they fear us because we don't fight for ourselves alone. Yes, the alien said. You fight for strangers. Silence filled the chamber. The human finally spoke again. So what did the galaxy do after we vanished? The alien turned off the screen. They tried to replace you, he said. That the human raised an eyebrow. Replace us? Yes, the alien said. New alliances formed. New defenders rose, but none stood when it truly mattered. The alien's voice grew darker. When the weak cried for help, no one came fast enough. The human clenched his jaw. And now? He asked. Now, the alien said, they look at you and wonder if the old fire can return. The human slowly closed his eyes. You talk like humans were legends, he said. But I'm just a man. The alien stepped closer. That is exactly what makes it powerful, he replied. The human opened his eyes. Powerful? Yes. The alien said, you are not a god, not a machine, just a man who chose to stand when others did not. The human looked down at his hands again. I failed, he said quietly. I couldn't save everyone. The alien placed a hand on the glass beside him. No one could, he said. But you tried. And the galaxy remembers effort more than victory. A soft sound echoed through the station. A deep signal tone. The alien turned sharply. Long-range scanners, he said. They are detecting movement. The human felt his heart beat faster. Who? He asked. The alien hesitated. Not all who come will come in peace. The human turned to him slowly. Then why not hide me? He asked. Why not keep me asleep? Forever? The alien's voice became firm. Because hiding humans is what broke the galaxy. The human looked surprised. When humans vanished, the alien continued. The galaxy lost something it did not understand until it was gone. And what was that? The human asked. The alien answered simply, hope with teeth. The human smiled faintly at that. So now, he said, you expect me to be hope again? The alien met his eyes. No, he said. We expect you to be human. The words echoed in the chamber. Outside, distant stars shifted as large ships moved closer. The human took a slow breath. Then the galaxy will have to learn something again, he said. What? The alien asked. The human's eyes hardened with quiet fire. That humans do not return to sleep when the world needs them awake. The station lights dimmed as power surged to defense systems across space. The shadow of humanity was rising. Once more, the alarms did not scream, they whispered. Soft red lights appeared along the walls of the station, glowing slowly like warning eyes. The medical chamber felt different now, tense, waiting. The human noticed it first. The station is nervous, he said quietly. The alien supervisor gave a small, tired smile. The station is reacting to you, he replied. The human turned. To me? Yes, the alien said. Your body is doing something unexpected. The alien doctor stepped forward and activated a scanning field. Thin lines of light moved over the human's body from head to toe. The human felt a strange warmth, like quiet fire under his skin. What is it? He asked. The alien studied the data in silence for several long seconds. Your body, he said slowly, did not simply sleep for 20 years. The human raised an eyebrow. It changed. The human looked down at himself. Changed how? The alien tapped the screen, showing glowing symbols and numbers. Your cells adapted during the coma, he explained. Your muscles repaired themselves again and again. Your bones grew denser. Even your mind became more active while unconscious. The human blinked. So, I got stronger while sleeping? Yes, the alien replied. Stronger, faster, and more stable than before. The human exhaled slowly. That doesn't make sense. The alien nodded. Your species does many things that do not make sense. The alien doctor beside him added quietly. Your body behaved as if it was preparing for something. The human turned sharply. Preparing for what? The aliens exchanged uneasy looks. The supervisor answered, for waking up. The human felt a strange chill. Outside the chamber, more aliens had gathered. Not just scientists now, but soldiers, engineers, and observers from different species. They watched him as if he were something rare and dangerous. Why are they here? The human asked. The alien supervisor did not hide the truth. They want to see what a human becomes. After 20 years of silence, the human slowly clenched his hand. The movement felt smooth, stronger than he remembered. He took one step forward. The floor beneath his foot cracked slightly. The room went silent. The human froze. I didn't mean. The alien supervisor raised a hand. It is fine, he said, but his voice had changed. You applied only a little pressure. The human looked at the floor, then at his foot. That was nothing, he said. The alien replied calmly. To you, perhaps. A quiet fear moved through the watching aliens. The human took another careful step. Everything felt lighter, clearer. Why? Didn't you tell me? He asked. Because, the alien said, we were not sure how you would react. The human thought about it. You were afraid I would become a weapon, he said. The alien did not deny it. But the human continued. I'm not angry. The alien looked surprised. Why not? The human answered simply. Because humans were never afraid of becoming strong, only of becoming cruel. The alien supervisor lowered his head slightly, a sign of respect in his species. Sudden alert appeared on the main screen. External scan complete, a voice announced. The alien turned quickly. What did you find? The voice paused. Several unknown vessels approaching the station. The human looked at the screen. Unknown? He asked. Yes, the alien said. They are not registered to any major alliance. The human felt something stir inside. Him, not fear, but focus. Then they are watching me, he said. The alien nodded. Your awakening was detected. The galaxy is reacting. The human stared at the moving dots on the screen. They are coming because of me. Yes, the alien said. Some to protect, some to study, some to test. The human slowly turned. Test what? He asked. The alien answered in a low voice. To see if humans are still what the legends say. The human was quiet for a long moment. Then he said, legends make things sound bigger than they are. The alien looked at him. What do you mean? The human raised his eyes. Humans were never legends, he said. We were just stubborn enough to stand when others sat down. A distant vibration passed through the station. The ships were getting closer. The alien supervisor stepped beside the human. You are still weak from healing, he said. You cannot fight. The human did not argue. I don't need to fight, he said. Not yet. The alien looked confused. Then, what will you do? The human's voice was calm, steady. I will walk out there. The alien's eyes widened. Into open space, with them watching? Yes, the human replied. Because humans do not announce strength with weapons, the alien asked quietly. Then with what? The human turned toward the exit, with presence. The chamber doors slowly began to open. Outside, countless eyes waited. And for the first time in 20 years, the galaxy was about to see what a human had become after sleeping through history. The corridor outside the medical chamber was long and quiet. Soft white lights lined the walls like silent guards. The human walked slowly, each step steady, each movement calm. Alien soldiers stood on both sides, watching him pass, but like something too important to touch. The human could feel their eyes, not fear, not hate. Something closer to awe. At the end of the corridor stood a large circular hall. Its ceiling opened to space, covered by a clear energy shield. Stars shined above like frozen fire. This is the communication hall, the alien supervisor said quietly beside him. The human looked around. You brought me here on purpose, he said. Yes, the alien replied. Because something waited for you. The human raised an eyebrow. For me? The alien pressed his hand to a glowing panel. 20 years ago, he said, when humans vanished, something was left behind. The air in the hall shimmered. Faint signal appeared, weak, broken, but alive. The human stepped closer. What is it? He asked. A human signal, the alien said, hidden inside old space noise. We did not understand it at first. The signal grew clearer. A shape began to form, a human symbol, old, simple. The human's breath stopped. That's a military emergency code, he whispered. The alien nodded. It activated only when your life signs returned. The human stared at the glowing symbol. You mean, he said slowly, this was waiting for me to wake up? Yes. The hall became silent. The human moved closer to the light. His hand trembled slightly as he reached out. The signal changed. A voice filled the air, distorted, weak but human. If you are hearing this, then you survived. The human froze. The alien supervisor slowly stepped back, giving him space. The voice continued. We could not win the war. Not fully, so we did something else. The human closed his eyes. We scattered, the voice said. Small groups, hidden, silent. The human's heart began to race. Earth is still alive, the voice whispered. Changed, but alive. The human opened his eyes sharply. Earth. He breathed. The voice paused, then continued. We left this message for you, not as an order, not as a command. The light flickered, but as a hope. The signal became clearer. If one human wakes again, then humanity has not ended. The hall felt suddenly smaller. The human took a step forward. Where are you? He asked, even though he knew the message could not answer him. The voice spoke again. We are waiting. Not for a leader, but for a reminder of who we are. The message ended. The light faded slowly. Silence returned to the hall. The human stood still, his fists clenched, his breathing heavy. They're alive, he said softly. Humans are alive. The alien supervisor walked closer. Yes, he said, but they are hidden, scattered, afraid. The human turned. Afraid of what? The alien replied, afraid the galaxy would not let humans rise again. The human's jaw tightened. Then they were right to hide, he said. Until now, the alien studied him. What will you do? He asked. The human did not answer immediately. He walked to the center of the hall and looked up at the stars beyond the shield. I slept while the galaxy moved on, he said quietly. While my people disappeared. The alien waited. But now the human continued. I won't let humans be a memory. The alien felt a strange energy in the air. You want to find them, he said. Yes, the human replied. Not to lead them, but to stand with them. The alien asked carefully, "And if the galaxy tries to stop you?" The human smiled, not in anger, but in quiet confidence. "Then the galaxy will learn something again." "What?" the alien asked. "That humans do not rise for power," the human said. "We rise for each other." A deep alert sounded. In the hall, a voice announced, "Multiple fleets detected. Approaching the station." The alien turned sharply. "They are coming faster now." The human did not look afraid. "They felt the message," he said. The alien looked at him in surprise. "You believe they sensed it?" "Yes," the human replied. "Hope travels faster than fear." The alien supervisor slowly nodded. "You are changing the balance," he said. The human turned to him. "No," he replied. "I'm restoring it." The stars beyond the shield began to shift as ships arrived from distant space. And for the first time since humans vanished, the galaxy was no longer quiet, because humanity had just spoken again. The station was no longer quiet. Across the dark space around it, ships appeared one by one. Some were large and heavy like moving cities. Others were small and sharp like blades. They came from different directions, different species, different beliefs, but all of them came for one reason. A human had awakened. Inside the central hall, alarms glowed softly, not in panic, but in warning. The alien supervisor stood beside the human, watching the distant fleets form strange patterns in space. "They are not attacking," the human said calmly. "No," the alien replied. "They are deciding." The human slowly crossed his arms. "About what?" "About what humans mean." Now, the doors of the hall opened again. Several high-ranking alien leaders entered, tall, armored, glowing, mechanical, organic, and forms that did not fit any simple shape. This was no longer a medical station. It had become a council chamber. The human looked at them quietly. No weapons in his hands, no armor on his body, only calm in his eyes. A tall insect-like leader spoke first. "Human," it said, its voice sharp and echoing. "Your kind vanished and left a vacuum. Now you return and disturb the balance." The human replied gently, "We never meant to leave a vacuum. Only a silence." A reptilian leader hissed. "Silence is dangerous," it said. "In silence, empires grow." The human nodded. "And in silence," he said, "so does fear." A glowing being floated forward. "You are one," it said. "One cannot rebuild a species." The human smiled faintly. "One human," he replied, "is enough to remind the galaxy what humans were." A murmur passed through the chamber. The alien supervisor watched closely. He had never seen leaders listen to a single being without threat or force. A metallic voice spoke. "Why should we allow humans to return?" it asked. "Your kind disrupts order." The human looked at the speaker. "Because your order was built on comfort," he said. "Human order was built on responsibility." Silence followed. Another leader stepped forward. "Responsibility to whom?" it asked. The human answered without hesitation. "To those who cannot protect themselves." Some leaders shifted uncomfortably. The human walked slowly into the center of the chamber. "You fear humans because we do not stay in our place," he said. "Because we step into fires that are not ours." The reptilian leader growled. "And you call that wisdom?" The human replied quietly. "We call it being alive." A long pause filled the chamber. The insect leader spoke again. "If humans rise again," it said, "war will follow." The human shook his head. "War followed when humans disappeared," he said. "Because no one stood between the strong and the weak." The alien supervisor felt the truth of it. Another leader spoke, softer now. "What do you ask of the galaxy, human?" The human looked around at all of them. "Nothing," he said. "I ask nothing." The chamber became very still, but the human continued. "I offer something." The leaders waited. "I offer humans as we always were," he said. "Not rulers, not gods. Just those who will stand when others fall. The glowing being floated closer. And if we refuse? It asked. The human met its light-filled eyes. Then humans will still stand, he said. But alone. That answer struck harder than any threat. A quiet alarm sounded again. More ships were arriving. The alien supervisor leaned toward the human. They are watching this broadcast, he said softly. The whole galaxy. The human closed his eyes briefly. Then he said, "Good." The reptilian leader narrowed its eyes. "You speak like a leader." It said. The human replied calmly, "I speak like a human." A long silence followed. Then something unexpected happened. One small, fragile-looking alien leader stepped forward. Thin, weak, almost unnoticed among the powerful. "My people were saved by humans once," it said quietly. "We survived because humans stood for us when no one else did." It bowed slightly toward the human. "I stand for humans now." The chamber stirred. Another voice followed. "So were we." "And us, and us." Slowly, one by one, voices rose, not of the powerful, but of the grateful. The human did not smile, because he did not come for praise. The alien supervisor felt something shift in the air. Not power, but alignment. The insect leader finally spoke again. "It seems," it said slowly, "the galaxy must choose." The human answered softly. "No," he said, "the galaxy already has." Outside the station, fleets began to reposition, not to attack, but to form. Something new, a line beside humanity, and in that moment, the return of one human became the return of hope for the entire galaxy. The galaxy did not explode into war. It changed quietly. That was the most human thing about it. Across space, fleets slowly shifted formation. Ships that once pointed weapons now pointed lights. Signals passed between them, not commands but agreements. The human stood at the wide window of the station, looking at it all in silence. "You changed their path," the alien supervisor said softly behind him. The human shook his head. "No," he replied. "I reminded them of another path." The alien walked beside him. "Most beings change the galaxy by force," he said. "You did it with words." The human gave a small smile. Humans always believe that the hardest battles are won without firing a shot. A new signal appeared. On the main screen, the alien supervisor studied it. "It's from Earth," he said quietly. The human turned sharply. "Earth?" he repeated. The alien nodded and activated the transmission. The screen filled with the image of a blue planet. Different. Scarred, but alive. Human cities stood again, smaller, quieter, but real. Underground shelters had become rising towers. Forests grew beside metal. Children ran under open skies. The human felt his breath catch. A voice came through the signal. "Steady, human. If you can see this," the voice said, "then humanity is no longer alone." The human closed his eyes for a moment. "We waited," the voice continued. "We hid. We survived. But we never forgot who we were." The screen showed people looking up at the stars. "We don't need a savior," the voice said. "We need a reminder." The transmission ended. The human stood still, his fists slowly tightening. "They don't want me to lead them," he said quietly. The alien replied, "They want you to walk beside them." The human nodded. "That is how humans always moved forward," he said. "Together." A new request appeared. Permission for human ships to approach the station. The alien supervisor looked at the human. "Your people are coming," he said. Human turned to him. "Then let's welcome them." The docking bay filled with quiet movement. Not marching. Not charging. Arriving. Small human ships entered one by one. Worn, simple, but proud. Humans stepped out slowly, looking around with careful eyes. Some carried tools. Some carried nothing but hoped that they stopped when they saw him. Not because He was greater, but because he was the first, a woman stepped forward. You slept while we survived, she said gently. The human shook his head. No, he replied. I slept while you carried us. She smiled. We carried humanity, she said. Now help us carry the future. He nodded. Across the station, aliens watched silently. No fear now, only respect. The human turned to face them. Humans are not here to rule, he said clearly. Not here to command, he raised his eyes. We are here to stand. With anyone who chooses to stand with us. The alien supervisor felt something rare in the galaxy. Unity without force. In the days that followed, humans did not build thrones. They built bridges. Between worlds, between species, between fear and trust. Slowly, the galaxy remembered something it had almost forgotten. That strength does not mean domination. That power does not mean control. That courage does not mean destruction. It means standing when standing is hard. Years later, stories spread across the stars, not of a human who ruled the galaxy, but of a human who woke up after 20 years and reminded the universe what it meant to be human. And wherever the weak were threatened, wherever the lost cried out, they no longer asked, who will save us? They asked, where are the humans? Because humanity had returned, not as conquerors, but as guardians.